Hi guys, welcome again to our Peach Tree morning show, and today it's Friday the 13th. Spooky, scary stuff.
Yeah, it's bad luck day in America.
Yeah, that's considered bad luck in the United States. I'm not sure if that's around the world.
But we are going to plant seeds for a very good Friday the 13th.
It could be good luck day.
Yeah, depends on your seeds. So today we have a very, very good question from June from Singapore. So let's see what her question is.
Here we go, June.
Hi teachers, my name is June. I'm from Singapore. I'm new to the seed planting system, but I'm guiding my son for the 4 steps. He wants good grades in the coming O-level exams. May I know how do I guide him to plant good results in the coming exam and how to plant those seeds? Thank you.
Wow, June, you look like you're standing on top of a skyscraper there. I could hear the wind blowing.
Cool.
She wants her son to get good grades, right?
Yes, I think we get this question a lot.
A lot,
right?
especially in Asia. Yeah.
And I think it's a great question. I was thinking about usually we tell people, this time we want to go even deeper with this answer, but usually we tell people that it's not possible for us to plant seeds for other people. And I always say, if it was possible, believe me, my mom would fix my life a long time ago.
Whoa.
Yeah.
What, your life needs fixing? I don't understand. What's the deal?
Well, she would save me all the problems that I had when I was a kid.
Before you met me, right?
Before I met you,
Thank you.
I don't want to get in trouble here.
Uh-huh.
So in one hand, we say, right, that it's not possible to plant seed for somebody else. Each one of us responsible for our own seeds. But on the other hand, we say everything we experience, including other people, come from our seeds. So there seems to be like a contradiction. I cannot plant a seed for Scott to get 100 in the test, okay? And he cannot do it for me, and we cannot exchange seeds between us.
But there's a deeper story.
But he comes from me, He comes from my seeds, the way he acts. So, Geshe Michael, how can we resolve this issue?
Yeah, bring it from the master.
Well, I think we should all decide, but I will say one thing. We have to talk about this question of whether you can give a seed to another person, and is there some level on which your son's success is coming from you, and you can give your son a seed. But I want to give a short, direct answer. And people ask me this question all the time, and I can remember 2 friends, Huang Jin from Shanghai and Jeffrey Zhou from Taipei. And these guys, they both have the same question in the last 10 years. And I have to say, I think it's Huang Jin's daughter is going to Oxford now. So she was accepted to Oxford University, which even I wasn't accepted.
So
to
he
Oxford.
asked you this question: how can my kid can have good grades, and then you give them the answer.
Yeah.
The kid did it.
Yeah. So the short answer is
Talk to Geshe Michael.
no. I mean the child. The child, your child has to plant the seed. You cannot plant the seed for the child.
Okay, so you got to
Okay,
coach
June.
him.
Yeah.
And everybody else that have this question. We cannot plant a seed for our kids. They have to plant the seeds for themselves.
Yeah, and obviously, that's the short answer. That's the easy answer.
Well, what's it,
your child has to be encouraged by his very intelligent mother to learn the seed system, learn the 4 steps. Once your child learns the 4 steps, they will, of course, automatically understand what they have to do. And I'm not going to tell you. Okay? I'm not going to tell you. You figure it out. Okay? If your child has to plant seeds to be successful in their college entrance exam, then what are you going to tell them and what are you going to teach them? So, June, the answer is you don't get an answer. And you have to think about the 4 steps.
Can I tell her the answer?
No.
Well,
June,
June,
tell.
just hang on, June. We'll figure something out.
June cannot get the answer. June has to think, if you're going to teach your child how to do well in the exam, then what does your child have to do? What 4 things does your child have to do for another young person to do well in their exams? Okay, so that's the end of the question.
Okay, we cannot say anything. Sorry.
But Orit's question is deeper. And I think sometimes when you go deeper, you get a better answer to the surface question. Mm-hmm. So the question is, can I plant a seed for another person? You know, can I do something to help my child do well on their exam? Can I do anything with seeds to help my child do well on their exams because
the child is coming from me.
Because the child is coming from me. So, Scott, your turn.
Okay, so we use some nice sets of 4 parts, so these tools that have 4 parts each. We call the 4x4 to understand, you know, basically how seeds work, how to plant a seed, how to stop negative seeds from causing a problem.
And by the way, we just finished a great video series called DCI Threads.
Well, we're in the process of creating that, yeah.
And you know, if you really want to go deeper into these 4x4, you should see that. Okay, go ahead.
And then the last one, I said 4 steps, 4 powers, 4. And then the one I hadn't gotten to is another thing to help us understand, another tool to help us understand what's going on around us. Help to understand if I plant a seed, where to look for it to bring its result. One of them is that I see the people around me that way. And so your question was, how can I plant a seed to see my son do that? First of all, you take responsibility for the problems. I take responsibility for the problems around me as my seeds. I like to tell people in front of the stage at DCI events, I identify simply what I'm experiencing. So if I'm seeing a person who is not having the success at the level they want yet, then I must be causing that by, and this is a tricky one, by not allowing some people to have the success they want. It sounds like a conventional relationship, but I'm saying it's a deeper understanding. If I see some friend of mine, or especially a loved one like my son, not achieving the success they want, and that hurts me, I can only experience that if it's a result of my seeds. And so I got to go looking for where I'm preventing other people, maybe that I judge or don't like as much, from getting their success, maybe by competing with them or something like that.
Or on a very tiny seed level, have I been competitive with other parents about their kids being successful? You know, like, do I get jealous when other parents' kids are successful on their exams? Because jealousy at a deep level is hoping that their kids don't do well on their exams.
Wow.
You see what I mean?
So I want to ask a question. Is it possible that if my motivation for my kid to be successful is kind of dirty motivation?
Yeah. I hope the other kids fail. Then my kid will raise their top.
In order for me to succeed, you have to fail. No?
Or I want the kids represent me, and I want my kids to have a good grade because it reflects how well I am,
how intelligent their dad is.
Yes, that how good I am as a parent. And I would say, so my motivation is a little bit dirty. Of course I care about my kid and I want him to be successful, but in the same time I have this selfish motivation because I want to look good. I'm not sure, but could it be that this is the seed?
Well, then I think the opposite seed would be to really celebrate or be very happy if some other parent's children did well in the exam. So maybe you have to kind of get ready mentally to say, okay, when I hear that my friend's kids did better than my kid in the exam, I'm going to do the best I can to encourage them and congratulate them and celebrate them and tell them how happy I am. And I'm going to do the best I can to be happy.
I think it kind of comes down to leadership, too. Like, if you think about it, great leaders maybe don't have that kind of zero-sum mentality where they think that in order for me to succeed, you have to fail, or if I'm losing, it must be because you're winning. So I think real leadership, real like wisdom, some people would say, is like, understanding that everybody can succeed at the same time.
So I want to go back to what seems to be a contradiction.
Oh, good, yeah.
Okay, I want to go back because I want to understand it better.
Yeah, yeah.
So I cannot plant a seed for somebody else, but at the same time, everybody else, including the kid, is my kid coming for my own seed.
Mm-hmm.
So it seems logically, if they come from my own seeds, if I change my seeds, I can change their seeds. But you're telling me it's not correct. I cannot plant their seeds. I cannot change it. So, Geshe Michael, can you explain this for me?
I'll ask you a question.
Yeah.
Is it possible that I plant seeds to see my child as doing well in the exams, but my child doesn't plant seeds and they don't see themselves doing well in the exams? Is it possible for me to plant the seeds to see my kid do well in the exams, and in the same day, my kids don't plant seeds and they don't see themselves be successful in the exams? Is it possible to have two worlds going on in one space?
There's a reason why he's got the pen in his mouth.
Yes. Okay. So it is possible for one situation or one condition to be experienced differently.
So radically?
So radically.
As a number?
As a failure?
As a number?
As a number, yes. Wow. It's possible. If things are empty, if it's true that things are empty, then it is possible.
Well, then I should focus on helping my kid do the 4 steps rather than focus on me trying to do the 4 steps before them.
Do all the above.
Or maybe both is cool, right?
Maybe both is cool, right?
That's cool.
Maybe both is cool.
Yeah, that's DCI. That's lifestyle.
So what the suggestion we have for June is 2. Help your kid plant the seed by doing the 4 step by themselves. They have to do that.
Yeah.
And at the same time,
Good.
you plant the seed to see your kid successful,
and it's double sugar.
Double sugar.
Double sweet.
I think you got to be clever too. I think you've got to sometimes, make it fun for the kid, for the son, for my son to help some other kid. Like, I don't know, like in America, they have this author, Tom Sawyer, who wrote a book about, Tom Sawyer was a character that tricked his friends into thinking painting a fence was really fun. So I think sometimes maybe you got to make it really attractive somehow for the kid to help some other kid. Right. Maybe even give them a reward for doing it, just so they get into the habit of doing it.
I think by example, if I show the kid how fun it is to help somebody else to be successful, then it's kind of infectious for the kids, because kids learn by copying. This is how they learn how to speak. This is how they learn how to walk. They learn by copying.
One of the deepest memories I have of my mom was a special tennis match that we joined, and it's called Mother-Son. And the mother and the son play together.
Cool.
Doubles team against the other team, mother and son.
Super cool.
And it's one of the things I will always remember about my mom. Is the day we played tennis together. It was a whole weekend of competition.
No way.
And we played on the same side, and we played against another mother and sister. But what I'm saying is, rather than thinking about the mom plants the seeds or the son plants the seeds, maybe some way you can team up.
Do it together.
To plant the seeds together.
That's pretty cool. Assuming the mother's not like wildly competitive, like, Michael, get out there and kill him. She's actually, it sounds like your mom was pretty well adjusted.
Well,
even in the 60s,
I'm not going to talk about the match. We got killed, but we really lost. But I want to say it might be incredibly sweet to work together to help another child on their exams.
That's kind of cool.
Wow. Okay, so team up. The son can plant the seed. You can plant the seed separately, but much more powerful if you team up and you do it together.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Help another kid. Yeah. That, when I was a kid, I remember we had this program in grade school where I lived, there was a lot of immigrants. And so a lot of kids that are having a hard time with the language and they needed some assistance and the parents couldn't assist them because they themselves didn't know the language.
Wow.
So they had this thing that they will find out, the program will encourage us, the kids that were a little bit more grown up, like 10 and 12 years old, 11, to find another kid that was from first grade and go there twice a week to their home, sit with them, and actually help them
Teach them to read.
to teach them to read and do the homework. And it was a very powerful program, and a lot of us, I remember me myself doing it, and how much it helped you to build also on a conventional level for the kids to build a self-esteem. So I was 10 years old and I had this kid that he was in second grade.
Yeah, he's 7 years old and he needs me.
And I need me and I'm teaching them. And
That's so cool.
Yeah, it was very cool program. So it was in my school.
Wow.
That's a cool. So that's our suggestion, right?
Yeah, this is our suggestion.
And that was coming from your seeds.
Oh, okay. What's the question for
All right,
tomorrow?
guys, we just heard the 15-minute bell. And listen, great question from June in Singapore. And those questions are like this right here. You send them to seedquestions@diamondcutterinstitute.com. This is our very special, extremely expensive prop in the Peachtree Morning Show, a paper plate. With the seed
Low
questions,
tech.
it's low tech.
Let me tell you something. Think of it this way, June. If my friend Huang Jin had not asked me, if he had not asked the question, I don't believe his daughter would have gone to Oxford.
Yeah, so ask the question, guys.
Yeah, ask questions.
So we're waiting for your questions.
And do it. You know, this system doesn't work by listening. It's only work if you do it.
Yeah, that's really true. Not just by watching the morning show, you actually got to go out and do something. So send your questions to seedquestions@diamondcutterinstitute.com. 30-second vertical selfie video questions in any language. And we're going to answer them here on the show. Who do we have up next week?
Okay,
it's
next
Friday the
week.
13th, guys.
Okay, guys, listen to this cool question.
This is Roger from Germany near Heidelberg, and I have this question. What is it that brings a seed to an end? We have planted so many of bad seeds in the past, and most of us still do, even if we don't want to. If every seed has an end, how can we ever be able to plant that vast amount of seeds over and over again to become a really happy and helpful person?
Okay.
That's a deep one. I don't know why Roger's picture didn't come up so big there.
Yeah, I'm sorry for
But
that.
Roger
but-
Eisman, we've seen you many times at events in Germany and Austria. Thanks for sending in that question.
Yes.
And some lucky person's going to have that to talk about on Monday. We won't see you after the weekend, but hope you have a great weekend after Friday the 13th.
And stay clean, hygiene.
Yeah,
wash
Scott,
your hands.
Scott
Yeah.
and Rita are going on vacation, and have a good vacation.
We're already in.
Please have a good rest.
Yes, it's well. We actually have work to do, and so we're going to be traveling a little
But try
bit.
to take a little rest.
But anyway, glad that we could spend Friday the 13th with you,
Great.
and hope you guys have a great weekend.
Yeah, and a great Friday the 13th.
All right,
Good
good.
seeds.
Take care, guys.
Bye-bye.
Bye for now.
Love you guys. Bye.